So yesterday saw emotional scenes at the Presidential Summit on Gender-Based Violence. It is hoped today will see solutions being tabled. But as the summit concludes, activists say they want more than promises and actual concrete measures. Well, let's go live now to eNCA's Silindelo Masekane, who has the latest for us. Silindelo, it would seem to me, if we can coin a theme, whatever the theme was, the official theme was for this summit, it would seem to me, though, that the unofficial theme has been accountability for actions and for promises and undertakings made a few years ago and that were not delivered upon. Has that theme continued to dominate today?
That is actually the official theme, Tulas. You're correct when you say accountability. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, it's accountability, amplification and acceleration now. That is the official theme. And in fact, what we've seen from yesterday to right now, actually, as the program continues, is that government officials as well as those in the private sector as well are being taken to task in terms of what has happened or not happened over the past 4 years since the first presidential summit took place back in 2018. But there's already been an admittance by the president himself to say that there's been little to no progress, and that in fact we need concrete timelines in order to ensure that the national strategic plan is actually implemented and we end the scourge of gender-based violence. But to give us more, I'm joined by the Commission for Gender Equality, that is Mr. Jabu Baloyi. Thank you so much for your time this morning. I do see that one of your officials is actually forming part of this particular panel, and there are issues around the role of the gender equality and its role in terms of ending gender-based violence. As the Commission, what are your thoughts around the summit?
Our thought around the summit is that we are cautiously optimistic with what was said yesterday as a Commission. We have done so many reports trying to address the scourge of gender-based violence, looking into the Victims' Charter. We recently did a report on looking at government's response on action plan, and also look at the issues of police station, how they respond to hotspots. We find that government is dismally failing. We have realized that there's a lot of rhetorics. There's also a lot of action, like the lady from the public sector said, it's a lot of talk, it's not coordinated, it's like a ship without captain. So what we worried of as a Commission is that, this summit will go and we'll play our role, we'll bring the reports to the various departments and also to Parliament. But implementation thereof, it's out there. There's no accountability. Just imagine yesterday, the 1.6 billion was not answered and was not accounted to. And as a Commission for Gender Equality, we believe that, maybe the Chapter 9 institution, we need to check our mandate, whether our recommendations are binding, so that, this government department must not get away with murder, because there's a lot that we've produced. Recently, we're talking to social development about initiation schools, about what's happening at initiation school, the death at those initiation school, which was done by my colleague next to me here. And the IRAP reports, nothing is being implemented. Should they implement what the gender commission? Some of them, Masiko, doesn't need money. It's about the willingness. SAPS has accounted to say the report is very well and good. But as long as, we don't do it, we're hoping that even what Minister Lamula said yesterday, that there will be no bail for GBV perpetrators, that it will be communicated. It might not end, it might also end here. It won't be told to the magistrate, to the judiciary, to the people. We need to change the law around that issue also, because the judges will say that, bail shouldn't be seen as a punishment. Yet those parallels will come out and harass you and other women out there. So those are the things that we are worried of as a Gender Commission. You could see even the president place them under the bus yesterday. I want to know also, meaning that, they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing. They're not even giving reports to the president to say, well, how far we get statistics. People are saying that the numbers are jingling. You saw the Sorry State yesterday when police reported something saying Free State and Mpumalanga, there are no cases. And that can't be true, because we receive cases every single day from our Commission in those provinces. So it's a worry, Masiko. When going forward, we need to accelerate our accountability and oversight role as a Commission.
Yeah. Maybe then, as a man, Mr. Baloyi, just tell me how your sentiments around the fact that women in this country, I don't know if you have children, I don't know if you have a wife, but the mere fact that the safety of women in this country does not exist.
As a man, it's a shame. And as a man who has got girl children, I worry about them also. I worry about my mother. I worry about every woman that I meet on the street. Because as men of this country, it's like, we're unleashed to do violent things. And we don't call one another out. We know some of these men, some are hiding in the church, some are our relatives. Some men are raping small kids. In Free State, Masiko, kids of 10 and 15 are giving birth. And as a man, we need to look at ourselves and introspect and say, it's shame on us. We must bear the responsibility. When women are saying we're trash, yes, we're trash, including myself, because I can't tell my brother, I can't tell my cousin some of the nonsense that they're doing. So those are the things that, as men today, I'm going to the men issues today, so that we discuss with fellow men. I know the person who's leading, Reverend Bafana Kumalo, so that we talk to men. We need to have more education, traditional leaders, both more especially in rural provinces, so that as men we must take attack and lead against the scourge of gender-based violence. If we become ambassadors in so many numbers, we can arrest the scourge of gender-based violence. No woman must be raped and be beaten under our watch. We must do something as men.
Thank you so much.
You're most welcome. Thanks.
All right, that is Mr. Jabu Baloyi from the Commission for Gender Equality, a representative of a Chapter 9 institution, saying that, when they, do their oversights on government's role, they are finding that government is dismally failing at addressing the scourge of gender-based violence. And of course, the Q&A session is officially underway to us, and already we're seeing a lot of heated debate around the fact that those officials who are on the podium now are being held accountable. That's social development, that's treasury, as well as public administration. So some difficult questions that those ministers are going to have to answer, as well as representatives from those departments.